Really severe lightning, thunderstorm. Ooh, that was bright lightning. I wasn't even looking up. Um. Anyway, so the odd thing is, where did it go? Right here. Alright. So this is one of our thunderstorm warnings. Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Portsmouth, Suffolk is in it too. Anyway, so we have a severe thunderstorm located a long line extending from near Rescue to downtown Suffolk, moving east at 20 miles per hour through these cities where we live. Okay, an additional severe thunderstorm was near the Norfolk airport direction. Well, not opposite, but one's moving east and one's moving north. It's just odd for us because normally they'll move the same way if they're, in the same time frame and that close together. Oh, that definitely could cause some rotation. And then we had then we had a severe lightning thing. Alright, then we had one located near Christopher Newport University, Newport News, Hampton, Yorktown, Pocosin. It's all part of the 5 cities, all part of East Tidewater, whatever. Just anyway, that's just like I said, just odd for us. There's warnings everywhere: Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland and Virginia. This is another one. This one's moving northeast. That's a whole other storm in Virginia. That one's near the Maryland line. So by. And there's New York, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Virginia's got another one. And this one's moving east. North Carolina, can't leave them out because we're, so close together. New Jersey and PA, another one. North Carolina and Virginia. Emergency alert, flash flood warning. This area until 7:45 p.m. Avoid flooded areas.
NWS flash flood warning. This area till 7:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Avoid flooded areas.
Huh. Really? Yeah, no doubt. That heavy as that rain is coming down. And everything is already so inundated. Yeah, see, this is a whole nother severe storm here. And this one is moving east. And this is for Bertie, Camden, Chowan, Currituck, Gates, Hartford, Northampton, Pascotank, for Women's, Chesapeake, Suffolk. So then it'll be Virginia Beach and Norfolk and all that. And another one for New York, Saratoga, Hamilton, and Warren. And this one's for Maine, New York, and Vermont. Berkshire, Rensselaer, and Bennington. Another one for Virginia Beach. Located a long line near Ocean View. Ocean View is Norfolk, but anyway, it's all the same water. Ocean View and Virginia Beach. Same Atlantic Ocean and Chesapeake Bay. Alright, where did it go? Good gracious, there's so many, I can't even get back to it. Alright, that's Delaware, Maryland, Atlanta and Tennessee, Alabama and Tennessee, Arizona, Wisconsin, Alabama, Arizona, Wisconsin, New York. Where did the other one from Virginia go? For Virginia Beach. What'd they do? Move it? Because it only said Virginia Beach, so it's got to be coming off the ocean towards us. I don't know where it went. That's Accomack and Northampton, moving east at 30 miles per hour.
Power is dividing. Power lines are on fire. Branches falling on the line. There are 2 cars below the power line. It's approximately 30 feet from any houses. Line is not down.
That's the one with the additional thunderstorm. We're the one that just said Virginia Beach. How did it disappear? Maryland and Virginia, New Jersey and PA, North Carolina, Virginia. Okay. Maybe they changed it to a marine warning. Hampton Road Bridge Tunnel moving east 30 knots. And I hope nobody's out there in the water besides the Navy. That might have been the one. Maybe they changed it to a marine warning. No, here it is. Extending near Ocean View to near Cora Peak. Moving east at 20 miles per hour. Numerous wind gusts of 40 to 60 have been reported. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We seldom just get a warning ourselves. Usually, not just Virginia Beach. That one's just us. Aren't we special? We're going to get all the strong winds. That's crazy. It's got to extend to Norfolk. Anyway. Alright, so there's 47 severe weather warnings right now. Which I kind of expected that yesterday and today because of the activity on the sun. There's been severe lightning. And I don't know if y'all know this, but hot air holds more moisture than cold air. And so with the global warming, as they call it, with the global warming, there's more. I guess that's why we have an atmospheric river now. Sorry. Hi, Jason. Yeah, everything's okay. I just got home. Was out there busting my butt today, and we were out there in some severe lightning, but they're still driving in it because he's got to drop her off in Chesapeake, and then he's got to meet his wife and grandkids at Chuck E. Cheese in Chesapeake. But I already heard there's power lines down, live power lines down, right near where he's got to go, so he's going to get caught up in some severe traffic. So is she coming from Suffolk. There's power lines down, there's trees down, there's flood warnings everywhere. Anyway, it dropped to 34. It was 47, now it's 34 warnings. Alright, let's see what earthquakes are doing while I was gone. It's hot. So hot in here. I'll look at the big ones. 5.8, 57 kilometers east of Luganville, Vanuatu. And then one right below that was a 5.9 in Point Villa, Vanuatu. .2 in Tonga. Go way over here. 4.6 in Uganda. Indonesia. I mean, they always. Philippines. 4.6. 4.8 in Russia. 4.1 in Russia. Hawaii, 3.2. Hey, that one just went away. All the yellows just went away. Okay. Oh, and there's a new one, though. There's a red one. The little one. 2.8 in Nevada. And 2.7 in Oklahoma. 5.0 in Southern East Pacific Rise. 4.7 in Easter Island. Chile. Costa Rica. Puerto Rico. They've been having a lot. That's all Alaska, which are common. As long as they're small ones, they have them. 1,000 of them a month. Alright, that's enough of that, because I don't really cover that. Just keeping track of it as it relates to biblical prophecy. Hey, I changed the name of the show, and it didn't change on there. It still says, what are the dangers? I changed it. Didn't update. No problem. Let's see what this is doing today. Is it buffering? Man, it's hot. Good gracious. Ooh, that was some bright lightning. Okay. Let's see what this looks like bigger. It's getting closer. Whatever that dark thing was that went across here, back behind the filter. I saw it again. They must be big. Oh, they're behind the sun and behind the filter. And they're dark. Dark matter or something. Remember, we had that light years in size something tore a big hole. Uh-oh. You know that place where I do the parking at Christmas time? And a couple months ago for something, graduation, they got a generator on fire from the lightning. There's fires everywhere from the lightning. Everywhere.
Engine 14, respond to Virginia Beach, District 2, 1000, reaching University Drive at the Robinson Building for a structure fire and automatic aid.
And that's Virginia Beach requesting Chesapeake Fire Department to help.
Virginia Beach, District 2, 1000, reaching University Drive, Robinson Building at CBN for automatic aid, structure fire, respond on there, TAC 3. TAC 3 is in assigned 1706.
Alright. Enough of that. So let's look at this close up for a minute. Still got a lot of flares going off this thing for it to be in a solar minimum. But we already know what's happening, don't we? Okay, no. Whatever, that's getting close, yeah. Yeah, you see that big black thing behind it? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Cox has a ladder down as well.
It's probably dark matter or something. Who knows? All right, let's see what's going on with this one. Probably dark matter or something. Who knows? Oh. Okay, the speeds are 545. Alright, everything's looking calm.
Engine 9. We're in the area investigating. Yep, down here to locate the down line. Proceed to 1708. 14
I still would like to know what went across the sun a few days ago and made the sun jump.
Proceed 1708.
There's a blackout that just happened in the United States. Somewhere 300 people without power. Yeah, I believe that. All these severe storms we got. We had 47 at once about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I believe that. All these storms we got. We had 47 at once about 15 minutes ago. All right, this has calmed down. We aren't getting bombarded with the electrons. At least they're not showing up on here now, but I guess they take up to 3 days to hit the Earth.
1925, Robert Hall Boulevard, apartment 7102 for a medical line. Engine 3, medic 24 to 6308 1925, Robert
Yes.
Hall Boulevard, apartment 7102. Reference is 85-year-old female. No further on this medical line. Time out 1709.
Yes. All right. Yeah, Pennsylvania's got some fires going on, probably from lightning too. Working in fire on arrival with possible entrapment.
Chesapeake to engine 3.
Police reported a propane tank in the rear, forcing entry in one of the rooms.
Alarm company spoke with the patient advising call for alarm, requesting to cancel. Chesapeake copies medic 24 are you available?
And then second alarm, heavy structure damage after a dust collector exploded near the building in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Active shooter response in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, can be heard on MAC 9 channel in Colorado State Patrol. That was at 1:30 p.m. They had an active shooter. Active shooter response in Cheyenne Wells, Colorado, can be heard on MAC 9 channel. Oh, wait a minute. It says. But it says multiple counties in Kansas.
Go ahead.
So I guess that's in Kansas somewhere.
Okay.
Large hazmat exposure occurring on West Q Street. At least 14 patients. That was in Nebraska. Large hazmat exposure. They had a hazmat alarm for Norfolk about an hour ago. Don't know what it was for. It just said that they were requesting hazmat. I mean, it was during the lightning storm, but they had a hazmat alarm for Norfolk. about an hour ago. Don't know what it was for. It just said that they were requesting hazmat. There's a lot of industrial places over there, though, so. All right. There's a lot of industrial places over there. Oh, it was multiple shooters in Kansas? Yeah, I'm just looking at my quick updates. I haven't clicked on anything yet. Oh, it was multiple shooters. The world has gone mad. Alright, let me close this out. Man, it's hot. And there's a new one for Wisconsin, Wyoming, Maine, and New York. The most I've seen at once was 51 severe warnings at once. It was almost there a few minutes ago. It's 47. And that one is a marine warning. Man, I've been having chest pains all day. Alright, nothing new there. Okay. Whew. I don't know. That was the report from earlier, so
Station 7.
well, that was 21 hours ago. That's not what we're looking for. Another Walmart. It says a woman was killed, and this one says a man. A man shot. Okay. That was Tuesday evening. That was 18 hours ago. That was 21 hours ago. I guess two different shootings. 200 block. That was Tuesday. 18 hours ago. That was 21 hours ago. I guess two different shootings. Alright, well. Fish and Barrel. Man with AK-47 blasts a car full of women after wedding. That was in 2016. That's so sad.
We're unable to locate hazard and shot available. 1716.
Alright. Let's see where that. Cheyenne Wells. $4 ago. Police and SWAT. 41 minutes ago. I guess that's the most active. I mean, the most current story on it. Man.
Stand by for dispatch. Engine 14, engine 4, ladder 2, district 1406, 1436 Greenbrier Parkway, the Lady Boy Galleries for a commercial fire alarm.
The Cheyenne County Sheriff's Office is asking people in Cheyenne Wells who received the code red to stay indoors until further notice. An 11 news crew on the scene where a lot of police and SWAT gathered west of the Trails Inn Motel. As of 2 p.m., the Sheriff's Office is reporting there were no deaths tied to the incident. Thank the Lord for that. The Sheriff's Office is asking the public to sign up for Code Red by clicking here. Cheyenne Wells is a town close to the Kansas border, more than 100 miles east of Colorado Springs. It's a developing story, blah, blah. Okay, so there's, I don't know what the deal was. Good gracious. Lightning strikes toilet after methane gas leak ignites. Bear destroys the inside of a car in Colorado town. That's another bear destroyed the inside of a car. There was one like 2 weeks ago, and his butt hit the gear shift. The door closed on him, and he couldn't get out. And his butt hit the gear shift, and he went rolling down he put it in neutral and went rolling down the hill because it was parked on the hill. The poor little bear went downhill backwards. Walgreens to close about 200 stores. Oh, look at this cute little face. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I know somebody doesn't. Yeah, I was thinking that the other day. Oh, the shooting was in uh, right close to the border of Kansas. It was actually in Colorado. Woman spots snake in can gas pump screen. Oh wow, in Kansas. See the snake inside the gas pump screen. Chocolate chip cookies recalled for choking hazard. Sears and Kmart closes more stores. That didn't surprise me. Well, I guess the severe storms are over here.
Engine 3 Chelsea. Engine 3 is available. False alarm. 1722.
Alright.
Engine 11, Mag 12. District 1202, 4608, Liberty Port. For a Mag call.
Oh, you're 45 years old? Okay.
Mag 12, Engine 11, District 1202, 4608, Liberty Port. Off of Forest Haven Lane. For a female with low blood sugar, callers refusing to do EMT. Only advising she's low blood sugar and it happens all the time.
Alright, Dogwood Motel is on fire in Pennsylvania.
Last 12. Just because he's in Engine 11, I'll show you real.
I think the severe weather's calmed down here, unless we got something else coming through. We had a storm moving east, and we had one in the middle moving north, and another one on the other side of it. Like, it was crazy looking too. I was videoing some of it while we were riding home. We had a storm.
Where's the line down?
I'm sure y'all do. There's lines down everywhere now. But I guess we got more storms coming in because the flash flood warning is until 7:45 p.m. So we obviously have more storms on the way, or they wouldn't have extended it that long. We never used to have.
Places, one mill down, but it's near a complex. So it's behind me right now. They want me to move further up because they think
We never used to have so many flash flood warnings, and we definitely didn't get severe lightning warnings like we do now. You know, just used to be thunderstorms coming through, but these severe lightning storms are crazy now. But there's so much energy in the air. There's so much helium. There's so much methane. There's so much electrons and protons floating around. And the stuff the sun's putting off. Is it still offline? Can you hear me? Let me check it here. Oops.
Fire on your teams, you're helping out. We just need to work out. We have one close to Milldown and Green Neck, and one close to First Colonial and Milldown. Do you want the entire Milldown shut off or somewhere specific?
It says live now. They didn't change the name.
Looks like they want you to be at Milldown and Green Neck. That's the location.
But it's showing it's offline on here.
And we're the first location.
But it's showing it's offline on here. That's crazy.
Standby one. Stay where you're at. I'll go around the other way. Maybe they want me up there. Stay where you're at. I'll go around the other way. Maybe they want me up there. Stay where you're at. I'll go around the other way. Maybe they want me up there.
Oh, sorry. Sounds like it's echoing. Oh, sorry. Sounds like it's echoing. Oh, sorry. Oh, it is. Sorry, I gotta cut that sound off. My fault. Sorry about that. It doesn't show. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna stay up here long now. I got things to do. I just wanted to see what I had missed while I was busy working and stuff. Call it that. I love you too. Oh, so can you still hear me? I wasn't sure if it was buffering. Is it buffering on your end? Green Bay Harbor, Sandy Hook. Oh, another one for us. Yep. Here we go. Virginia Beach only, too. Another Virginia Beach only one. Interesting. Extending from Virginia Beach to near northwest, moving east. All right, so I guess we got another one coming through. One 110 degrees in Texas. Oh, I don't know. Y'all. Oh, hey, discernment. How are you? Um, Ontario's going to be getting some stuff. Yeah, we had 100 and something today. I think the last I saw before the storm started coming through, we had 103 with our heat index. I don't know why they report it so low though, because we'd be looking at the, real thermometer, and it's always 10 degrees off, always. We'll compare with everybody's thermometers like Rose Bis and all the bank ones and, everywhere else, and it's always 10 degrees hotter than what they tell us. And that's before you add in the heat index. But oh my gosh, I went outside for a minute yesterday evening, right before the sun went down. Woo! And it wasn't even hot out then, but that sun was like, felt like it was under a magnifying glass, and that low in the sky, it shouldn't have been so hot. It felt like a magnifying glass on the sun. It was just burning like a focused burn. Oh yeah, no doubt discernment. Okay, so um, Arizona's got another one. Texas, you got one for Armstrong and Randall. Anyway, I don't think Ontario, Canada is out of the woods. I think everything that the United States is seeing, y'all going to be seeing too. I mean, I'm not wishing it on you. I'm just saying. God bless document files. Snow caps on the mountains. I bet. The snow is red beneath it, really? That's interesting. Well, I was listening to part of the book of Enoch last night, and a lot of the stuff, we're going to have to listen to it, and a lot of the stuff that he said is going to happen is coming in the South. Now, remember when the presidents and everybody went to the Antarctica to look at something, and we know that Satan and them were thrown in the bottomless pit until whenever, um, so we got to wonder uh, what Enoch is talking about in the South. I seen red snow and ice in Russia. Hello, Tamara, beautiful woman in God's army. How are you? They couldn't blame that red snow and ice in the river there on algae because it was too cold for algae to grow. King James Bible. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun. That's right. Isaiah 30:26. How you doing, beautiful? Oh, Delaware's got one too. Okay. Yep, Delaware, New Jersey, and PA. That's right, I already read that. I forgot. Well, that one will be coming here too. Only 26 now. We had 47 earlier. Alright, nothing new here. That's good. So, daughter, look at this. There's something black that shows up behind the filter. Was it on this one or was it on the red one? Yeah, it's on this one. It shows up right here. There's two of them. There's one that's smaller here, and then the other one's bigger. Yeah, it's on this one. It shows up right here. There's two of them. There's one that's smaller here. Whatever it is round, but it's behind the filter. So we don't know if it's. There was one of them. My thing is in the way. There was one, and then the other one's going to show up above it. So, don't know what that is. If it's dark matter, dark energy, Satan's fallen angels. Dark matter, dark energy. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. Whatever they're spraying is having side effects. Die from radiation or have our trees die. Not much choice. Well, I think the radiation would die, kill the trees, the animals. The radiation is going to destroy a lot of stuff. The radiation from the sun is much more powerful than the 5G. And the birds have been falling out of the sky for years now. And we had bats drop dead in Australia last year because of the heat. We had lizards dropping dead out of the trees in Florida because it was too cold. Yes, this world is a mess. Yeah. Yeah. We still got plenty of bees at work. We got plenty of wasps and hornets. They lived through the winter this year. Never seen that before. We had live hornets and wasps in October, November, December, January, February, all the way through. Yes, yeah. Well, we always have them bad at the job, but I mean, between the wasp and the hornets, man, and you could spray the nest, with that hornet and wasp spray, and they'll just wait a couple hours and go right back to that nest. The ones that don't die, they'll go right back to that nest and start building onto it. Team at bug wasp. Oh, I don't know, Jason. I think we just didn't have a cold enough winter. We had a very warm winter this year. We had we only had a couple of days of really cold weather. The rest of it was very warm. That is why your land is in mourning and everyone wasting away. Even the wild animals, the birds of the sky, and the fish of the sea are disappearing. Hosea 4:3. Right on, daughter. Every bit of everything we're seeing is related to Scripture. Mahogany wasp. You know what I've been seeing? I've seen some albino frogs, then I found a petrified frog, and Ezekiel 11:11. But I've been seeing red frogs at work too, and then I seen some albino ones, which is weird. And then I found that petrified one, rock hard, and it didn't shrivel up like he was dehydrated. Same with Revelation chapter 9:11, Ezekiel 38:39. I don't know. I still can't figure that one out because had he been collapsed, I would have said, well, he dehydrated, and but his lungs were full. I mean, his body was full. He just like he froze like stone. It wasn't froze because it was hot, but he just was like turned into a rock. It was. it, I still don't have an answer for that one. Yeah, I wonder if I still got him. 'Cause I put him in a bag. But one of the soccer coaches told me that they had been seeing a lot of them petrified like that at the other soccer field. We're truly at the door. It's time to get the ark. Yes. Yep. Yep. Hi, Jeff P. How are you? Long time no see.
Hi, Jeff P. How are you?
Hey, Jeff, I've been waiting to ask you. That night you came in and was sharing your new webpage with us,
Hey, Jeff,
so nobody could see you typing, right? They thought I think, daughter, weren't you here? They thought I was losing my mind because they thought I was talking to a ghost. They're like, Jeff P ain't here. And then all your messages disappeared. And like you, I thought, well, maybe you retracted your statements. Wasn't that funny, daughter? Daughter's like, why is she talking to Jeff P? Jeff P ain't here. Wasn't that funny, daughter? Daughter's like, why is she talking to Jeff P? Jeff P ain't here. So it didn't show up to anybody else, but it showed up to me. But then when you look back at the recording, from that show, you could see it. Your stuff in the red. Your stuff in the red. You can't see him now? Am I echoing? I'm sorry. Am I echoing? Let me cut that down. I'm sorry. I gotta find it. Where's my volume on this? Let me cut that down. Oh, I got it upside down. Well, I want to go this way. There we go. Now, hopefully the echo goes away. Can you see Jeff P this time, daughter? Is it still a delay? Well, there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So how you been, Jeff? Whew. All right. So where were we? Ridiculously busy? Yeah, I feel you on that. Me too. Me too. So have you stopped putting stuff on YouTube? Or are you just doing it on your website now? Or is my notification thing blocked again? Okay, good. It's all going down in the blink of an eye. Yep. So having your bunkers ain't gonna save them. YouTube's been deleting them. Huh. All right. Let's see if anybody else is under Wyoming. Oh, South Carolina, New Jersey, Oklahoma. Those are the new ones. Okay. A water spout somewhere. Bowers Beach. Taking a break from posting. Hope to do some videos soon. Right, daughter? Oh, here's a big one. It's red, so this one just happened. 5.9 in Taiwan. They got a green pager, which means it's done some damage, and at least one person verified that's dead, I think, when the pager is green. All right. Oh, yeah, we were going to look at this one. All kinds of volcanoes ready to pop in Asia. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I still see a flare on this thing. But I still want to know what it was that rocked the sun last week. Remember that? When the thing came down here and you could see the eclipse in the sun. Now, supposedly, when it's happened before, people said, oh, that's supposed to be the earth going by. Well, whatever it was that went by made the sun jump way up there. The sun jumped. Not like this little movement it has. When this thing went by and you could see it go by down here, the sun went bloop. So whatever it was had enough magnetic energy or whatever to affect the sun and move the sun. Downgraded as usual, yeah. All it would take is one, oh, yeah. Well, you know, even the solar flare the other day that we had another G1. We had two G1s back to back, 2 days in a row. And this thing here, oh my goodness. If you go back and look at the video, like see the little green sparklies in the back? The whole screen was covered in sparklies. That was that's the protons and electrons coming off the sun from that G1. It was pretty intense. But before that happened, something eclipsed it down here, and when it did, the whole sun jumped up, like, about this far. It was crazy. All this looks much milder than it was for now. All right, that's enough of that. That could be the darkness. It could be. It could be, daughter. No shield on the North Pole, right? But I think the sun's actually going to go out. I think it's going to get as bright as sevenfold to 7 days, and then it's going to. When Jesus gets ready to come, there's not going to be any sunlight. It's not. I don't think it's going to be from the volcanic ash at that point. I think it's going to be out. Because I don't think Jesus is going to be all the light we need after that. I don't know. One thing for sure is we are seeing it all play out. New Hampshire, another one for Maine, two for Arizona, New Hampshire, and another one for Wisconsin. Oh. Nothing new. So you can see this flare right here, but I don't think it's earth facing. Whoops, too fast. Oh, I need to watch this again and see if it's still missing time, because this and the Lasco 2 and the Lasco 3 were missing like 5 hours of footage. And they're still missing hours of footage. It's supposed to go to 24. It's only going to 1836 still. Huh. So for whatever reason, we're missing footage on both of these. I guess they're waiting for whatever it was they saw that they don't want us to see. They're waiting for that part of it to play out of the loop, and then they'll go back to the 24 hours. I guess. And notice this one plays to 1842, and the other one plays to 1836. So I guess the difference in minutes is the difference in the position of this one and that one. So whatever it is they cut out, they definitely cut it out, the time on purpose on these two, because it's a 24-hour loop, that's for sure. And right now, neither one of these are. And they weren't yesterday either. So one can wonder what they're not letting us see. Nevada is where Area 51 is. They might be remodeling underground. You're funny. So let's see if this is still on its 24-hour. I think this one's still on 24 hours. Nope. Nope. They cut some time off of this one too. Huh. Not as much though. It's not missing as many hours as the other. Let's see. 23. Yeah, that one's missing about half an hour. The others are missing like 5 hours. See, it still goes to 1842. I bet that goes 24. Oh, there's a tree down on Northampton. That's where my friend, the boxer, uh, died at on Northampton when he got hit by that car. But I wonder why the tree just now fell. The winds are calm now. Matter of fact, the wind ain't blowing at all. Not even the tiniest leaf is moving. You're going off grid again? Nevada seismograph. Let me go to let me pull up the chat room. Hold on. Open in new tab. See, I'm learning a little bit, Jeff. Now I know how to share uh, pages and stuff. And whoops. Hey, come back here. Come back here. Oh, I didn't lock it in. Okay. Strong motion is blue. Red is short period. And strong motion is the blue. Wow. That's a lot going on in that area, isn't it? There's Las Vegas. California. Green is broadband. Purple is netquakes. Gray is inactive. And the brownish ones are on other networks. Okay. Now if I go smaller, can we see more areas on the map? Sacramento. Going to Alabama, close to Tennessee border, Smoky Mountain. I don't know that that's going to be, oh yeah, just go to Yellowstone. I just saw that, okay. Back here. And where's the link? Hey. Oh, I gotta wait for it to update, there we go. Yes, there is a lot of shootings going on. Worldwide rapture, yes. Bring worldwide martial law. Where's the link at? Here we go. Alright. Let me do this one. Whoops. Wrong thing. Alright, try that again. No, I don't want that. Nope. Open link in new tab. There we go. Finally, gracious. August 7th. Whoa. I see some red here. I don't know how to, I have to read their thing on how to interpret them. Quake map. Yes, our country is definitely falling away. Almighty God's giving us dreams and visions to warn. Yeah. Feast of Trumpets in 54 days. Yep. So what was it? What was the thing? I haven't even looked, but all these people said something was going to happen on the 7th, and at 1:40 p.m. on the 7th. Okay. Oh, there's the quakes. Okay. Oh, that was from July 31st to August 8th. North, Montana, Yellowstone, Wyoming, Caldera, uh, red strongest, quake, yellow is the middle, and green is the weakest. Okay. So there's the red ones. 11 quakes. I guess the strongest was a 2.4. I must say 2.5. So they say. Most active. (223) 2012, 2006. Alright. So where's this year? Doesn't fit into those, huh? As far as the most active, 2012 was a bad year for them. Huh. Gilbert Godfrey. Oh, Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, there was supposed to be one for today for the 7th. There was this warning something was supposed to happen on the 7th. Um, I didn't even look at it. I saw it in a couple of my things, but I never even clicked on them. I didn't have time anyway. I'd like to know why the time is cut on these. Yeah, this one's cut by 30 minutes, like the other one, like this one. The rest of this is cut by hours for some reason. Oh, another warning for New York. Bronx and Queens and New York City, Kings and Nassau. Oh, they got 2 in New York. The other one's in Saratoga and Washington area. And you still got one in Texas in Potter and Randall. Um, Jason's in Texas. No, you're in Ontario. I'm sorry, Discernment. I mean, Gilbert, Jeremy, got Pride Saturday off Golden Gate. Oh, really? Daughter, I wish I could join you. If I was anywhere close to you. and didn't work every weekend, I'd be with you. Man, I worked my biceps today, let me tell you. We had to go back to that mall and finish tearing out that the 25-foot tall shelves. I definitely have no blood. Yeah, I love animals too. Okay. I think it's easier to read the Book of Enoch than listening to it because you get, I don't know, the way he wrote it or the way it's written is so, you kind of like lose track, forget you're listening to it because it's just the way it's written, I guess. But it was interesting the stuff he was talking about in the South. I'm gonna go back and listen to that again. Whew. Other line is open if someone wants to call in. The tsunami warning site. Yeah, I've got that on. Uh, actually, it's on here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, it's on the earthquake site. Like, if the earthquake has the tsunami warning with it, it'll have the tsunami thing there, and you can just click on it right there to have the little ocean wave. Um, 7 point. Oh, that was the one from whatchamacallit. So it lifted up the roads. Glen Avon. Oh, that was 525. Significant earthquakes in the last 30 days. Taiwan, Japan, Indonesia, Chile. See, they're all working up to that 7. El Salvador. 4.2 in California, Palms, California, Greece, Three Lakes, Washington, Monroe, Washington, Broome, Australia, Advanced National Seismic System, Global Seismic Network, Have you ever heard of Tish Bayou? We're in Arizona. Is there a quake? Oh, let me go back. I think there was, I think it was in, right here in the, I was Oklahoma. Let me zoom to the U.S. California. No, these are California. Not on here that I know of. No, discernment. I don't think they're doing it to test people's reactions. I think they're doing it to test how they're going to be able to keep it going when we get hit with a serious CME or EMP from an enemy. I don't think they really care about our reactions. What are we going to do? Nothing. We'll turn on the radio or the TV when the internet goes down. Or we'll get on our phones or whatever. But, they depend on the internet for a lot of things. They depend on satellite communication for their radar systems and, you know, missile defense and everything else. So they really don't want to see it go down. I'm sorry, daughter. What was it I was looking at that made you think that was the old ones from earlier in the month? Yeah, well, that G1 affected satellites. At G1, we had 2 days in a row. G1 coming from the sun, the geomagnetic, and they had matter of fact, let me show you. They had the warning for the satellites interruptions. Whoops, right here. This is for the satellites. And see all that red and the yellow? That's not good. That means it was going to affect satellites. See, satellite environment. So that's probably why they don't have internet. Their satellites went down in that G1. Yep, yep. Well, we got meteors coming in daily anyway. How do we know that one doesn't hit a satellite before it falls in the ocean and they don't report it to us? They don't want us knowing that the stars are falling from the sky and the hailstones are getting ready to come, and you know they don't want us to know. Oh, daughter, when I was reading Arizona, honey, I was reading the severe thunderstorms. I'm sorry. Maybe that's what you were thinking about, because I was jumping back and forth to earthquakes to severe weather map. See, there's one in Arizona right now, Makipu. Oh, Maricopa. Sorry, Maricopa, however it's pronounced. Maricopa. I don't know how to pronounce it. Wisconsin, New York, Texas, Maine, Arizona, New Jersey, South Carolina. New Hampshire, Wisconsin, Delaware, Maryland, Tennessee, Wyoming, Maine, Texas, New York, Wisconsin, New York, Jamaica Bay, producing waterspouts. Arizona, Arkansas, North Carolina, Maine, Oklahoma. One hits like in 1833. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean the CME? The CME that hit, was it the early 1900s or the late, I think it was the early 1900s. The CME that hit electrocuted all the telephone operators. Remember where you used to have to dial a 0 and then they would connect you to the person? You didn't actually dial phone numbers. You dial a 0 and the operator would connect you to the person and they get to listen in on your phone conversation. But anyway, a bunch of operators got electrocuted when that CME hit. That CME was something. And we didn't have the technology then that we have now. Just imagine if one of those hit now with the technology, how much stuff it would wipe out. And they want driverless semis and driverless buses so that one of these CMEs or EMP from another country or somebody hacks it and can make it and then use it as a weapon. So now they're going to weaponize. Oh, there's a severe warning in Florida now in Okaloosa. Oh, they're going to weaponize the buses and the semis. That's crazy. I don't know what they're thinking about driverless. Let's take more jobs away from people and let's make the roads more dangerous while we're taking jobs away from people. We're going to make the semis and the buses driverless. And they're trying to vote them here. They're trying to vote driverless buses in Norfolk. Like, that's when everybody needs to boycott. Like, we're not going to buy any more cars. We're not going to pay personal property tax. We're not going to have a driver's. We're not going to do anything with the roads and give y'all any more money if y'all going to put driverless buses and semis on our roads. I mean, I don't know any other way to get them to listen except affect them financially, because that's all they care about. There's a new one for Cali. Ridgecrest 2.5. Oh, we got more thunder. I guess we got another storm coming in that they didn't tell us about. Let's see if it's on the map yet. Nope, it's not. Hey, or maybe it's not going to be a severe one. Yes, the grid is going to go down. Yep, I'm telling you. Yeah, as long as we got our Bibles. The grid's going down. We know that's coming. That might be part of the darkness that the Bible's talking about, besides all the evil in the world that's dark. But the darkness for us may be complete power loss. We know it's going to happen one way or another. Man, I'm hungry. Mm. Yeah, I'd like to know why those hours are missing. Nicaragua. Pacific Rise. Got Oklahoma. Hidden Valley. It's gotta be Hawaii. Yeah. But see, there's a big flare coming off here now, but I don't think it's Earth facing. This one. It's pretty busy. It's a lot of helium in that. This is a lot of energy in this thing. That one strike, that one. It the weird thing is right there. Oops. Uh, okay, this is a meteor, right? Going through. What is here that causes the obscuring of it? What is this obscuring the meteor? So this is a meteor. So why don't we see it white all the way through? What is this? Is that helium gas? Yeah, I mean, what is that hot? What is that? We know there's a bunch of energy going through here. I guess the filter doesn't work right there or something. I don't know. Uber drivers, Uber delivers food now. Yeah, I know. They've been doing it here for a few months. I remember when the Sunspot Observatory shut down. Yes, I remember that too. But see, there's something. All right, I don't think you were here for this earlier, daughter. There's something round that shows up here and here for a second, and it's behind the filter. So it's near the sun, but it's behind the blue filter. So is it negative energy or what? Uh, a black hole? There was one that just pulsed. But because remember that hole they said that said something like, and they're not sure if it was dark matter. that punched a um, light years in size, which means it's got to be huge, light years in size hole in our galaxy. And they don't know what it was. That happened in May. Maybe it was God opening up the portal. Because you got to figure if he made this protective barrier for us, this permanent for us, which is a protective barrier, obviously. He's got to create portals for everything, for the everything incoming, so it doesn't burn up in our atmosphere. So they get through in the portals without burning up. I guess the portal is like a non-gravity area, um, or whatever, so they can just speed right on through without that friction of our atmosphere, the firmament that God created. And it protected us for all these thousands of years. It might be part of the unveiling too. That's why we're seeing everything we're seeing. The unveiling of the sky. So we can see the spiritual warfare going on. Oh, well, I'm yawning already. I need to eat. Okay. Maybe things have calmed down. Located over Execution Rocks. I wonder where that is. Execution Rocks. Wow. Okay. So this thunderstorm is located over Execution Rocks. And this one is southwest of Slaughter Beach. Slaughter Beach and Execution Rocks. What names are those? Good gracious. I don't think I want to go to Slaughter Beach. And there's another warning for Wisconsin. Let's find out where that is. Oh, it's not going to tell me. Oh, there it is. It is somewhere near Virginia and Washington, Maryland, somewhere in this area. Slaughter Beach. Yeah, they're still getting hit with all of that. Alright, let's see where Execution Rocks is. Probably near that too. Oh, up in New Jersey somewhere. Or, oh, where? Here or here. These are marine warnings in the purple. And there's the storms in Arizona. Ugh. You've been seeing weird clowns putting filters on them and seeing faces. Yes, faces, ships, animals, every kind of animal you can think of. Some things with. I've been looking for the 7 or 10 heads, but I've only seen like 5 or 6. Things that look like they got, formations that looks like it's got 5 or 6 different heads on it. And then some of them, before you can blink your eyes, they actually change completely into something else. I mean, they metamorph so quick. All right. It was really spooky one day last year. The faces were so clear and they were metamorphing so quick. And I'm like, hey, this is really crazy looking at this. Oh, yeah, deception is definitely coming. It's already here, but it's definitely going to get a lot more tricky. Because if possible, even the elect would be deceived. Uh-oh, did I just see red or tornado? No, I guess I was just scrolling too fast. Alright, Arkansas. Let's see if there's anything left in Virginia. Probably should look at North Carolina because whatever they got will come up to us. Oh, they're looking pretty good now. Oh, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1 inch hail. Moving northeast, coming our way. Alright, that's enough of that. For now, nothing new. Oh, absolutely, daughter. Definitely manifesting on people. Ah, man. Yeah. So when are you going back off grid? How long are you gonna be in town? Well, we definitely see people losing their minds everywhere. Ah, I'm scared to look at the news for the day. Not scared, but you know, it's just so distressing. But it definitely tells us Scripture is playing out. Why does it say? Did Jeff leave us?
Driver, West 64, near exit 124. The white collar sedan with a personalized tag, Tango, Romeo, Oscar, Bravo, India, Sierra. Passive vehicle on the shoulder, if you'll do.
Oh, gracious, gracious, gracious.
Glorious and shining and many-eyed station of the Lord's servants, and of the Lord's immovable throne, the ranks and organizations of the bodiless armies, the indescribable composition of the multitude of the elements, the variegated appearance and indescribable singing of the army of the cherubim, and of the light without measure, to be an eyewitness. At that time he said, when 165 years were complete for me, I fathered my son Methuselah, and after that I lived 200 years. I completed all the years of my life, 365 years. In the first month, on the assigned day of the first month, I was in my house alone, and I lay on my bed sleeping. And while I slept, a great distress entered my heart, and I was weeping with my eyes in a dream. I could not figure out what this distress might be, nor what might be happening to me. Then 2 huge men appeared to me, the like of which I had never seen on earth. Their faces were like the shining sun. Their eyes were like burning lamps. From their mouths fire was coming forth. Their clothing was various singing. Their wings were more glistening than gold. Their hands were whiter than snow. And they stood at the head of my bed and called me by my name. Then I awoke from my sleep, and I saw those men standing in front of me, in actuality. Then I bowed down to them, and I was terrified, and the appearance of my face was changed because of fear. Then those men said to me, be brave, Enoch. In truth, do not fear. The eternal God has sent us to you. Behold, you will ascend with us to heaven today. Tell your sons and all the members of your household everything that they must do in your house while they are without you on earth. Let no one search for you until the Lord returns you to them. I hurried and obeyed them. I went out of my house and shut the doors as I had been ordered. I called my sons, Methuselah and Regem and Gaidad, And I declared to them all the marvels that those men had told me. Enoch said, Listen, my children, I do not know where I am going, nor what will confront me. Now, my children, I say to you, do not turn away from God. Walk before his face and keep his commandments. Do not abhor the prayers of your salvation, so that the Lord will not curtail the work of your hands. Do not be ungenerous with the Lord's gifts, and the Lord will not be ungenerous with his donations and love gifts in your storehouses. Bless the Lord with the firstborn of your herds and the firstborn of your children, and a blessing will be on you forever. Do not turn away from the Lord, and do not worship vain gods, gods who did not create the heaven and the earth, or any other created thing, for they will perish, and so will those who worship them. And may God make your hearts true in reverence for him. And now, my children, no one must search for me until the Lord returns me to you. And it came about when I had spoken to my sons, those men called me, and they took me up onto their wings, and carried me up to the first heaven, and placed me on the clouds. And behold, they were moving. There I perceived the air higher up, and higher still I saw the ether. They placed me on the first heaven, and they showed me a vast ocean, much bigger than the earthly ocean. They showed me the 200 angels who govern the stars, and the heavenly combinations. They fly with their wings and do the rounds of all the planets. There I perceived the treasuries of the snow and ice, and the angels who guard their terrible storehouses. Also, the treasury of the clouds from which they come out and go in. They showed me the treasuries of the dew, like olive oil. The appearance of its image was like every kind of earthly flower, only more numerous. And the angels who guard their treasuries, how they are shut and opened. Those men picked me up and brought me up to the second heaven. They showed me, and I saw a darkness greater than earthly darkness. There I perceived prisoners under guard, hanging up, waiting for the measureless judgment. Those angels had the appearance of darkness itself, more than earthly darkness. Unceasingly they made weeping all the day long. I said to the men who were with me, Why are these ones being tormented unceasingly? Those men answered me, These are those who turned away from the Lord, who did not obey the Lord's commandments, but of their own will plotted together and turned away with their prince and with those who were under restraint in the fifth heaven. I felt very sorry for them, and those angels bowed down to me and said to me, Man of God, pray for us to the Lord. And I answered and said, Who am I, a mortal man, that I should pray for angels? Who knows where I am going, or what will confront me, or who indeed will pray for me? And those men took me from there, and they brought me up to the third heaven, and set me down there. And I looked downward, and I saw paradise, and that place is inconceivably pleasant. I saw the trees in full flower. Their fruits were ripe and pleasant smelling, with every food in yield, and giving off profusely a pleasant fragrance. In the midst of them was the tree of life, at that place where the Lord takes a rest when he goes into paradise. That tree is indescribable for the pleasantness and fine fragrance, and more beautiful than any other created thing that exists. From every direction it has an appearance which is gold-looking and crimson, and with the form of fire. It covers the whole of paradise and has something of every orchard tree and every fruit. Its root is in paradise, at the exit that leads to the earth. Paradise is in between the corruptible and the incorruptible. Two streams come forth, one a source of honey and milk, and one a source that produces oil and wine, and it is divided into 4 parts. They go round with a quiet movement, and they come out into the paradise of Eden, between the corruptible and the incorruptible. From there they go forth along the earth. They have a revolution in their cycle, just like the other atmospheric elements. There is no unfruitful tree there. Every tree is well fruited, and every place is blessed. There are 300 angels, very bright, who look after paradise. And with never ceasing voice and pleasant singing, they worship the Lord every day and hour. And I said, how very pleasant is this place. And those men said to me, this place, Enoch, has been prepared for the righteous, who suffer every kind of calamity in their life, and who afflict their souls, and who avert their eyes from injustice, and who carry out righteous judgment, and to give bread to the hungry, and to cover the naked with clothing, and who lift up the fallen, and who help the injured and the orphans, and who walk without a defect before the face of the Lord, and who worship him only. Even for them this place has been prepared as an eternal inheritance. Those men carried me to the northern region, and they showed me there a very frightful place, and all kinds of torture and torments are in that place, cruel darkness and lightless gloom. There is no light there, and a black fire blazes up perpetually, with a river of fire that comes out over the whole place. Fire here, freezing ice there. It dries up and it freezes. There are very cruel places of detention, dark and merciless angels, carrying instruments of atrocities and torturing without pity. I said, whoa, whoa, how very frightful this place is. Those men said to me, this place, Enoch, has been prepared for those who do not glorify God, and for those who practice on the earth the sin which is against nature, which is child corruption in the anus in the manner of Sodom, for those who practice witchcraft, enchantments, divinations, trafficking with demons, and who boast about their evil deeds, stealing, lying, insulting, coveting, resentment, fornication, and murder. For those who steal the souls of men secretly, seizing the poor by the throat, taking away their possessions, enriching themselves from the possessions of others, defrauding them when they are able to provide sustenance. For those who bring about the death of the hungry by starvation, and when they are able to provide clothing, take away the last garment of the naked. For those who do not acknowledge their Creator, but bow down to idols which have no souls, which can neither see nor hear, vain gods, constructing images and bowing down to vile things made by hands. For all these, this place has been prepared for an eternal reward. Those men then took me, and they carried me up to the fourth heaven. They showed me there all the movements and sequences, and all the rays of solar and lunar light. I measured their movements, and compared their light. And I saw that the sun has a light 7 times greater than the moon. And I saw his circle and his wheels on which he always goes, going past always like the wind, with quite marvelous speed, and his coming and his going give him no rest day and night. And I saw the 4 great stars on each side, each star having 1,000 stars under it, 4 on the right-hand side of the sun's chariot, and 4 on the left-hand side, each one having 1,000 stars under it, altogether 8,000, going with the sun perpetually. And 150,000 angels accompany the sun in the daytime, and at night 1,000. And 100 angels go in front of the sun's chariot, 6-winged, in flaming fire. And the sun blazes up and sets the 100 angels on fire. I looked and saw flying spirits, the solar elements called phoenixes and chalkedras, strange and wonderful. For their form was that of a lion, and their head was that of a crocodile. Their appearance was multicolored, like a rainbow. Their size was 900 measures. Their wings were those of angels, but they have 12 wings each. They accompany and run with the sun, carrying heat and dew, and whatever is commanded them of God. Thus the sun goes through a cycle, and he goes down and he rises up across the sky and beneath the earth with the light of his rays, and the sun is there on the track unceasingly. And those men carried me away to the east of that heaven, and they showed me the solar gates through which the sun comes out according to the appointment of the seasons, and according to the phases of the moon for the entire year, and according to the numbers of the horologe, day and night. I saw 6 open gates, each gate having 61 stadia and a quarter of a stadium. And I measured carefully, and I figured out their size to be so much, through which the sun comes out and goes off to the west. It becomes even, and goes in through all of the months. The first gate, the sun comes out for 42 days. The second, 35 days. The third, 35 days. The fourth, 35 days. The fifth, 35 days. The sixth, 42 days. And then once more the sun does an about turn and goes back the other way from the 6th gate, according to the round of the season. And the sun goes through the 5th gate 35 days, the 4th 35 days, the 3rd 35 days, the 2nd 35 days. And so the days of the whole year are completed, according to the cycle of the 4 seasons. Then those men carried me away to the west of the heaven, and they showed me 6 large open gates corresponding to the circuit of the eastern gates, opposite them, where the sun sets, according to the number of days, 365 and 1/4. Thus the sun goes back once again to the eastern gates, under the earth. And when the sun goes out from the western gates, he takes off his light, the splendor which is his radiance, and 400 angels take his crown and carry it to the Lord, for since his shining crown is with God, with 400 angels guarding it. The sun turns his chariot around and goes back under the earth on wheels, without the great light which is his great radiance and ornament. The sun remains for 7 great hours in night, and the chariot spends half its time under the earth. And when he comes to the eastern approaches, in the 8th hour of the night, the 400 angels bring back the crown and crown him, and his brightness and the shining of his crown are seen before sunrise, and the sun blazes out more than fire does. Then the solar elements, called phoenixes and chalcedras, burst into song. That is why every bird flaps its wings, rejoicing at the giver of light. They burst into song at the Lord's command. The light giver is coming, to give radiance to the whole world, and the morning watch appears, which is the sun's rays. And the sun comes out over the face of the earth, and retrieves his radiance, to give light to all the face of the earth. They showed me the calculation of the sun's movement, and the gates by which he goes in and out. For these are the great gates, which God created to be an annual horologe. This is why the sun has the greater heat, and the cycle for him goes on for 28 years, and begins once more from the start. And another calculation those men showed me, that of the moon, and all the movements and phases, and 12 big gates, crowned from the west to the east, through which the moon goes in and goes out, in accordance with the regular seasons. She goes in by the first western gate, in the place of the sun, by the first gate for 31 days exactly, the second for 35 days exactly, the third for 31 days exactly, the fourth for 30 days exactly, the fifth for 31 days extraordinarily, the sixth for 31 days exactly, the seventh for 30 days exactly, the eighth for 31 days extraordinarily, the ninth for 31 days accurately, the 10th for 30 days exactly, the 11th for 31 days exactly, the 12th for 22 days exactly. Thus likewise by the western gates, in accordance with the cycle and in accordance with the number of eastern gates. Thus she goes in also by the western gates, and she completes the year, 364 days. The moon passes by the quarters for 3 years, and the 4th completes it exactly. For this reason they are taken away outside heaven for 3 years, and are not to be added to the number of days, because these ones change the seasons of the year. 2 new moons increasing, 2 others decreasing. And when the western gates are completed, she turns around and goes to the eastern ones with her light. Thus she goes, day and night, in accordance with the heavenly cycles, lower than all the cycles, swifter than the heavenly winds, spirits, elements, and flying angels, with 6 wings on each angel. The moon has a 7-fold intercalation and a period of revolution of 19 years, and she begins once again from the start. In the middle of the heaven I saw armed troops, worshipping the Lord with tympani, pipes, unceasing and pleasant voices, accompanied with pleasant, unceasing and various songs, which is impossible to describe. Every mind would be quite astonished, so marvelous and wonderful is the singing of these angels. And I was delighted listening to them. And those men took me up on their wings and placed me on the 5th heaven. And I saw there many innumerable armies called Grigori. Their appearance was like the appearance of a human being, and their size was larger than that of large giants. And their faces were dejected, and the silence of their mouths was perpetual. And there was no liturgy in the 5th heaven. I then said to the men who were with me, what is the explanation that these ones are so very dejected, and their faces miserable, and their mouths silent? And why is there no liturgy in this heaven? And those men answered me, these are the Grigori, who turned aside from the Lord, 200 myriads, together with their prince Satanael. And similar to these are those who went down as prisoners in their train, who are in the 2nd heaven, imprisoned in great darkness. And 3 of them descended to the earth from the Lord's throne onto the place Hermon, and they broke the promise on the shoulder of Mount Hermon. And they saw the daughters of men, how beautiful they were, and they took wives for themselves, and the earth was defiled by their deeds. They and the wives of men created great evil in the entire time of this age, acted lawlessly, and practiced miscegenation, and gave birth to giants, great monsters, and great enmity. And this is why God has judged them with a great judgment, and they mourn their brothers, and they will be outraged on the
For
great
we
day of the
wrestle not
Lord.
against flesh and
I
blood,
said to
right,
the
but
Grigori,
against
I have seen your brothers and their
principalities, against
deeds and their
powers, against the
torments and their
rulers of the
great
darkness
prayers,
of this
and I
world,
have prayed for them.
against
But the Lord
spiritual
has
wickedness,
sentenced them
right?
under the earth until heaven and earth are ended forever. And I said, why are you waiting for your brothers? And why don't you perform the liturgy before the face of the Lord? Start up your liturgy and perform the liturgy before the face of the Lord, so that you do not enrage your Lord God to the limit. And they responded to my recommendation, and they stood in 4 regiments in this heaven. And behold, while I was standing with those men, 4 trumpets trumpeted in unison with a great sound, and the Grigori burst into singing in unison, and their voice rose in front of the face of the Lord, piteously and touchingly. Those men then took me from there, and they carried me up to the 6th heaven. There I saw 7 groups of angels, brilliant and very glorious. Their faces were more radiant than the radiance of the sun, and there was no difference between their faces, or in their dimensions, or in the style of their clothing. These groups of angels carry out and carefully study the movements of the stars, the revolution of the sun and the phases of the moon, and the well-being of the cosmos. When they see any evil activity, they put the commandments and instructions in order, and the sweet choral singing, and every kind of glorious praise. These are the archangels who are over the angels. These archangels harmonize all existence, heavenly and earthly. The angels who are over seasons and years, the angels who are over rivers and the ocean, and the angels who are over the fruits of the earth, and over every kind of grass, who give every kind of food to every kind of living thing. Also, the angels who record all human souls, all their deeds, and their lives before the face of the Lord. And in the midst of them are 7 phoenixes and 7 cherubim, and 7 6-winged beings, having but one voice, and singing in unison. Their song is not to be reported, and the Lord is delighted by his footstool. Those men lifted me up from there, and they carried me up to the seventh heaven, and I saw an exceptionally great light, and all the fiery armies of the great archangels, and the incorporeal forces, and the dominions, and the origins, and the authorities, the cherubim and the seraphim, and the many-eyed thrones, the regiments, and the shining Otanim stations. I was terrified, and I trembled with great fear. Those men then picked me up and led me into their midst and said to me, Be brave, Enoch, do not be frightened. They showed me the Lord from a distance, sitting on his exceedingly high throne. And what is on the 10th heaven, since the Lord is present there? And on the 10th heaven is God, and it is called in the Hebrew language Aravoth. All the heavenly armies came and stood on the 10 steps corresponding to their ranks, and they did obeisance to the Lord. Then they went to their places, in joy, merriment, and in immeasurable light, singing songs with soft, gentle voices, while presenting the liturgy to him gloriously. They do not leave by night, nor depart by day, standing in front of the face of the Lord, and carrying out his will, cherubim and seraphim, standing all around his throne, 6-winged and many-eyed. They cover his entire throne, singing with gentle voice in front of the face of the Lord, Holy, holy, holy is God the sovereign Lord. Heaven and earth are full of his glory. When I had seen all these things, those men said to me, Enoch, up to this point we have been commanded to travel with you. The men went away from me, and from then on I did not see them any more, but I remained alone at the edge of the 7th heaven. I became terrified and fell on my face and said to myself, Woe is me! What has happened to me? The Lord sent one of his glorious ones, the archangel Gabriel. He said to me, Be brave, Enoch. Do not be frightened. Stand up. Come with me and stand in front of the face of the Lord forever. I answered him and I said, Woe to me, my Lord! My soul has departed from me from fear and horror. Call the 2 men who brought me to this place, because I have put my confidence in them, and with them I will go before the face of the Lord. Gabriel picked me up, like a leaf carried by the wind. He moved me along and put me down in front of the face of the Lord. And I saw the 8th heaven, which is called in the Hebrew language Muzaloth, the changer of the seasons, of dry and of wet, and the 12 zodiacs which are above the 7th heaven. I saw the 9th heaven, which in the Hebrew language is called Kukavim, where the heavenly houses of the 12 zodiacs are. And on the 10th heaven, Avaroth, I saw the view of the face of the Lord, like iron made burning hot in a fire and brought out, and it emits sparks and is incandescent. Thus, even I saw the face of the Lord. But the face of the Lord is not to be talked about. It is...
Oh, hello? Yeah. All right. Thanks. Okay, y'all. We will have to finish this when I get back.
Really awesome and supremely frightening. And who
May God bless you and everyone, and I'll be back in about an hour. Sorry for the interruption, but I got to go do something. Thank you. Love you all. God loves you.